spirit for the Lord, I can't turn down. Talking too much, bruh, it's time for you to learn now.
So what they hearing, they offended, get up.
Name, sis? Linda? All right, nice to meet you, Linda. I'm Elisha. So now we're going to show you, according to the Bible, your nationality. We're going to go through the scriptures to give you clear direction, who you are and what you need to be doing. Because like we just saw, brothers don't have no direction. Right. So first thing we got to understand is our nationality. What did God call us? What would you say your nationality is, my sister?
I'm programmed. I know this is wrong. Programmed African American black.
Exactly. So same thing these other brothers say. They
wants us, and God, from my knowledge, is God wants us to improve ourselves and build ourselves and build the community.
Right.
But how can we do that when you got all these people like that young guy talking about he's a Pyru? We can't. We're not gonna improve ourselves. We're gonna stay at the bottom.
Right, we're gonna stay at the bottom because we have too many different ideologies in our community, and all of them are destructive. Saying that you're a Pyru, what's behind that is the gangbanging. Is right? Yeah.
Man is looking at him, laughing at him.
Exactly. Violence is behind that thing.
Violence.
Brother said that he was an African American, right? Even though, and then this trying to say that the Bible is not true when it gives us clear direction how to lead our people. Because they don't want any direction. Our men, the men in our community right now, God said they like children. They don't want to hear what direction. They don't want to have order. So that's what we bring into our people. So what you got to understand is now that you an Israelite. That's what God calls you. He says you an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, so-called American blacks. And we're going to read it out the scriptures. Give me that Deuteronomy 28. Let's see who the book is written to first. Let's see who the book of Deuteronomy. You got a Bible? Okay. If you Okay, well, if you got something to write the scriptures down, right? You got the flyer too, and some of the scriptures are on the flyer as well. So let's read it. Deuteronomy 1:1. Let's see who the book of Deuteronomy is written to. Deuteronomy 1:1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So you got the audience. The audience is the children of Israel. He said, these are the words that Moses spoke to all Israel. So we know who he's talking to. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:15. Let's read what Deuteronomy 28:15. Because our brothers, like I said, we got to understand, we got to listen to what God says. Read that.
That's where I'm from. 28:15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Pay attention, my sister. We don't have no distractions. All right?
To observe to do all his commandments.
So God said it's going to happen that if we don't observe to do all his commandments, if we don't listen to what God says, go ahead.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said that all these curses will come upon us if we did not do the commandments of God. So let me ask you, you go to church, right? What kind of church you go to?
Read the flyer. I'm not reading no flyer. Okay.
Non-denomination, right? So non-denomination really is still a denomination, right? But all the Christian churches, they steal from the Catholic Church, right? Because they all just different branches of that. So now the doctrine that they teaching, have they been teaching you God's commandments? Like what? Give me some commandments that they teach.
Oh, God, you cut me off.
Come on, just give me whatever you can think of. What you got? What commandments do you say they've been teaching you?
One of the things that one knows, like do unto others as you want them to do unto you.
Okay.
Yeah, this other ones also. You got me off.
All right, but that's the thing, right? The fact that sometimes we can't readily just think of the commandments because they haven't really been teaching them. They might mention some, but they're not truly enforced. In the Christian church, they're not teaching our people how to keep the commandments of the Lord. Right. So now, what did God say would happen to us if we didn't keep the commandments?
That our days would be short.
Let's read it. Let's read it again.
Our days would be short.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said if we didn't do the commandments, that curses will come upon our people. So now, like you said, you look at our communities, we have disorder, we got violence, drugs, all these different things because killings, right? Because we disobey the commandments. Let's read that, verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thy be in the city.
So he said curse was going to be in the city. So that's why all the cities you go to in the world, what do the blacks Hispanics occupy? What kind of areas? What do they call our neighborhoods? Ghettos, slums. They don't even put neighbor on our hoods. They just call them hoods because we're not neighbors to one another. So yeah, they treat our people live in the worst conditions. So now God says we gotta act. We said because you're not keeping the commandments, that's why you live in the worst parts of the world. Read that again.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
And he said we was gonna be cursed in the field. What fields were we cursed in, sister? Okay, so yeah, this place right here, we got our brothers and sisters working at Rite Aid. They getting paid less than minimum wage, struggling.
And most of them work Rite Aids, and most of them, they're working from 40 hours a week, and they still can't pay their rent.
Still can't pay their rent.
Bring it out.
Struck exactly, because no matter our work fields, we're impoverished. No matter what we set our hands to do, because we're not applying the commandments of the Lord.
Right.
Look how we're living. The white man has boats. The white man lives in big houses. The white man drives nice cars. But we can do that. We can do that. Oh, y'all, my words. But we can do the same.
We can do it, but there's a stipulation to it.
Educate ourselves to do the same.
Right, but how do we get there? What's the stipulation? What is God looking for?
What is God? He wants us to be able to follow His word. Follow His commands.
Follow His commands. That's it right. Give me that real quick and make your way prosper in Joshua. Is what Joshua 1 and 8. Because let's see what the stipulation God is looking for us. Because you're right, we can do these things, but as long as we got brothers saying they Paru, as long as we got brothers saying they African American, as long as we got brothers saying they Negroes,
right.
As long as we got brothers saying, hey, I'm just a human, I'm living in America, that we're not gonna get anywhere because we have no identity. We don't know what we have to gather under. And smoking drugs, all that. We got to gather as the Israelites and keeping the commandments. The commandments tell you not to smoke no drugs.
That's right.
The commandments tell our young men how to be real men in the community. But let's see what God says. Read this.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Did you hear that, sister? He said, this book of the law. The book of the law is talking about this Bible. All the commandments in it are laws. He said, this book shall not depart out of your mouth. Go ahead.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
So he said that we may observe to do all that's written therein. So what the Christian church is missing is that they might have the Bible. You might have brothers who go there all throughout the week and they read it all day long, but what they're missing is the application. Right. They're not doing what's in the Bible. The Bible tells you, hey, you got to keep the Sabbath day. Right. But yet they go to church on Sunday. Right. The Bible tells you that you got that a woman is supposed to dress in modest apparel. But yet they go to the Christian church in hoochie mama clothing. Right. They go with short skirts. They wearing pants. All these things are against the Bible. They don't cover their heads when the word is coming out. I'm gonna read some of these laws to you. But our people are not doing it. So we're not meditating and doing the word. Read.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
For then you're gonna do what?
Make thy way prosperous.
So after you keep the commandments, you're gonna make your way prosperous. You'll be able to gather together and have a good community. We won't have trash in our communities. Go ahead.
And then thou shalt have good success.
And that's how we have that good success, sister. What you about to say? This is Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. So now God is telling us the keys to success. He's just giving us the keys to success. He said, you got to keep the commandments, you got to meditate in the word, you got to do it, and then you're going to make your way prosperous. Right. Then we won't have brothers and sisters struggling like we are. Then, because guess what? God is going to rise up for us. But the first comes the application of the commandments. Now let's get a commandment. Let's get the one in 1 Corinthians 11. Let's read that. Let's see. I'm gonna give you an easy commandment, sister. Hey, read that. 1 Corinthians 11. This is one of the commandments of God. All right.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So now we getting the order. We getting God's divine order. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
So we got the head of the man is who?
The head of the man, the head of the what now?
The head of the man is who?
It should be the head of the man. The man should be the head of the family.
No, I'm saying who's the head of the man? We're gonna read it. Huh? Okay, we're gonna read it again. Listen to this. We're gonna read it again, all right?
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Who is the head of the man? Christ, right? Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is who?
Is the husband?
The man.
Yeah, the man.
The right? Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of Christ is God. So we got God, we got Christ, man, and woman. So that's the divine order of the Lord. So that's right, because this is something that you're not gonna get. You get it free on the streets, and we're not asking for time.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.